let's do this. Remember what I told you. Let's rewrite the function again. So I have f of x equals write the same function, remember, there is x. So open parentheses. Never forget that. I don't know what to put here because that's the portion for the x. So we go to the x to work it out to see what we need to put in. So I have x equals -3. Remember, I need to move the 3 or -3 closer to the x. So what will I do here? I would add 3 to both sides. Excuse me. So this goes away. I would have x plus 3 here. And that is what you put here. So this becomes x plus 3. And remember, for the y, if it's positive, it's positive. If it's negative, it's negative. I mean, it's that easy. So remember, you would not put the y where the x is. You have to add it to the main equation. So I what? -2. If you do it here, it's wrong. So always remember, it's not. It's added to the main function. And this is your answer. Let's do one that has a fraction in it. Let's do one with a fraction. So let's say I have h of x equals 1 over x squared. And the question is, you shift this function or you rewrite this function, rewrite this function so that x equals 5 and y equals -4 are asymptotes. All right, let's do this. Let's remember, we write our function. H of x equals 1 over, remember our rule. I see x, so open parentheses. And remember, my x is what? Squared, so squared. Now, I don't know what to put here, because this is a portion for the x. So let's go to the x and work it out. It's still the same procedure. If it's an asymptote or not, it's still the same thing. Don't let this word, this asymptote, confuse you. It just basically means the line will not, or the function will not touch those lines or those parts of the line. All right? So let's do this. Put the x in. I have x equals 5. Remember, I need to move the 5 closer to the x. And it's positive, so I subtract 5. Let me use a different pen so it stands out. So I what? I subtract 5 from both sides. This goes away. The left side gives me x minus 5. And this is what I put here. X minus 5. Now for the y, remember I told you the y is the same. You have to add the y or subtract the y from the main function. So if you put it here, it's wrong. If you put it here, it's wrong. To the main function. So this is what you do. Minus big 4. And this is your answer. The 4 doesn't have to be that big. Just trying to emphasize the point right there. Hopefully this is becoming easy. Alright, let's try another one. Let's keep this asymptote right there. We'll try another one that has logs in it. So let's say 2x cubed, such that x is what, 5. The other one was 5, so let's make this negative 3 and positive 6 are asymptotes. Alright, let's do this. So I have h of x equals 1 over, not yet, 2. Remember, wherever you see x, open parentheses. So I see from 2, I see x, so open parentheses. And the x is what? Cube. The 2 is not cube, it's the x that's cube. Alright, let's work this out. I'll put some value here because that's the x portion. So I go to the x to know what I have to put here. So I think by now you should be getting an answer. X equals negative 3. That's what is here. So in order to work this out, I would have to what? Bring the negative 3 closer to the x. So I add 3 to both sides so that this cancels out. So from here I have x plus 3. And this is what you would put here. X plus 3. And remember that y, whatever the y value is, you have to add it to the main function. And let me repeat this again. Do not put it here as plus 6 down here. That would be wrong. Plus 6 up here would be wrong. Add it to the main function. Or, yeah, you have to write plus 6 because it's positive. If this was negative, this would be minus 6. So if it's an asymptote or whatever, or if it's not, it doesn't matter. Just go with a procedure that is comfortable for you. Alright? Okay. Let's do a few that has a log in it. I'm not sure you'll be asked anything like that. Let's say I have f of x equals square root of x. And the question can be asked that rewrite this. Rewrite this function up here such that x is shifted to the right four units. This is example 4 or 5, I'm not sure. 4 units and up. 3 units. It doesn't matter. Remember, instead of saying write 4 units, you can be asked x equals 4 and y equals 3 are asymptotes. It's still the same thing. So by now you should know what the answer is going to be if you followed the first 3 examples. So I have what? Square root. Remember, I see x, open parentheses. Some people can write this without an open parentheses, and I mean, that may be right, but you should be careful. After solving this, I'll show you what I'm trying to say. So right 4 just means x and y axis. To the right 4 means x equals 4. That's what it means. And up 3 should be right here. It means y equals 3. So that's what this means right here. So I have x equals 4 and y equals 3. So this is the x part right here, because that's where the x is. So I need to put in something here. I don't know what to put there. So I go to the x, because that's the x part. So I have x equals 4. X is positive. So x is positive. So I'm trying to bring the 4 is positive. I'm trying to bring it closer to the x. I'll subtract 4 from both sides. So this side cancels out. So what is left on this part? X minus 4. And that is what I put inside the parentheses, because that's where x was. So I put x minus 4. So we're done with the x part. The y part is what? Equals 3. The y is the same. It's positive 3. So positive 3 here. You add positive 3 to the main function, and that's your answer. Now, remember what I told you about using parentheses. So this is our answer. But remember, some people would not bring a parentheses. So this is why this bringing a parentheses helps. So let's say I have square root of what? Instead of writing this, you don't bring a parentheses and you write x minus 4. This means square root of x minus 4. This is wrong. This is wrong. This and this are not the same. You're trying to say square root of x minus 4. But if you remember to bring a parentheses like that, this is the same as that. It means everything, square root of everything in the parentheses. Alright? So this and this first part are the same. But if you don't bring a parentheses, it's not the same. So always remember,